So hello my friends, today we're going to be addressing the seventh day, the Sabbath. What is it all about? Should we keep the Sabbath as Christians today or not? Is this an obsolete commandment from God? God just did it just become obsolete when Christ died? Or should we keep the commandment today? Let's see. So God created the heavens and the earth, and Genesis tells us that God rested on the seventh day, and God blessed the seventh day. Blessed and God blessed the seventh day and sanctified. So to sanctified means to set it apart. So so Sabbath is a holy ground. God made Sabbath the seventh day a holy ground. God sanctified it. It was God. I'm just reading the Bible, okay? Just as anyone can read, God sanctified the Sabbath. So God set it apart. It's a different day. It's holy ground. So let's get deeper in this concept. So when God said the Ten Commandments, which were written in stones with the very finger of God, God said, 6 days you shall labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath. You shall not work, nor thy daughter, nor thy son. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth. For in 6 days. So God is now relating to the creation of the world. So for in 6 days, I'm commanding you, I'm reminding you about the Sabbath, and telling you, you shall keep the Sabbath, for in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth and sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed and the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So God is telling us that because he rested and because he sanctified it, so we are to have a different attitude toward the Sabbath. Okay. And what did Jesus say about the Sabbath? And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man. Oh, wait a minute, the Sabbath was made for man. Okay, so this addresses health issues and spiritual issues. Okay, so we need to set a time apart to consider the creation of God, to consider who is our creator, and we need a time to rest. Okay, animals do not worship God, so why do animals need to stop working on the Sabbath? Why did God command animals to stop working on Sabbath? Because they need rest. They do not worship God. You do not see cattle going to a church, okay, to worship. They need to rest. Otherwise, they're gonna die. Okay. So the Sabbath was made for man, for man's health, physical health and spiritual health. Okay, and not the man for the Sabbath. Therefore, the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. So Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. But let me read now something that Paul said, and some people misunderstood this statement of Paul, which is written in Colossians 2:16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect to an holiday of the new moon, or of the Sabbath day, which are shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ. So Sabbath is also mentioned alongside with other feasts which were pointing to Christ. Okay, so Sabbath is a shadow, and is a shadow. It's no longer more to be kept as a shadow, as a ritual. Okay, So in the days of Paul, people were keeping the Sabbath day along with other Jewish feasts, which were done when Christ died. Okay, so Paul is addressing: do not keep the Sabbath as a ritual alongside of other feasts, which were pointing to Christ, to the Christ's death, to the atonement of Christ. Okay, it is done. Okay, in this point it is done, but Paul was not quitting the commandments. He's not saying, "Oh, okay, all the commandments it's done." Let's read what Paul said in Ephesians 6:1-2. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with promise. So the commandments are not, they did not end with Christ. Okay, so Paul is addressing one of the commandments. Okay, and what did Jesus say more about the Sabbath? Pray, but pray yet that your flight be not in the winter, nor in the Sabbath day. Matthew 24:20. So Jesus was addressing something that was going to happen before he would ascend to heaven. Pray that it won't happen on the Sabbath day. So we are not done. And let me say, if you believe that we are no longer to keep the Sabbath, okay. So, but let me ask you something. If you believe this, you should work 8, 10, or 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you do this, I would believe that you really believe that the Sabbath day is done, okay? But we as humans, we need a weekly rest, I do not believe on the Sabbath day, but I work 5 days and I take 1 day to rest. Sunday or Saturday. Jesus said we should rest on Saturday, but I'm addressing now our physical need for a weekly rest. So people used to say we should not keep the Sabbath, but they ended up resting on Saturday or Sunday. So it doesn't make sense. Because the Sabbath was made for man, we as humans need a weekly rest, okay? And let's see another thing which Paul said, and Paul said in Galatians 5:14, for the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love your neighbor as thyself. So this comes up to Sabbath, when we think about business owners and employers relations, when the Sabbath comes as a very important key point for the health of the employers, for the keeping of their families. Imagine what would be the world without a weekly rest. The families would be destroyed, the health would be destroyed. So when we think about love one another, Sabbath is a very important point. Otherwise, I would have to work 7 days a week. Everybody would have to work without ceasing. Families will die, people die. So Sabbath is not done. And let's see Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints, they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Because the 10 commandments are inside of the Ark of the Covenant. They were written in stones with the very finger of God, Sabbath is a shadow, foreshadowing that when Christ died, we do not need to work our salvation. God gives our salvation as And now, as followers of Christ, I follow Christ. And following Christ, I keep his commandments, because I cannot go contrary to the one I'm following. So I do not keep the commandments to be saved. I keep the commandments because I'm following Christ. And Christ is the Lord of the Sabbath. Okay? So consider this. And God bless you.